Okay, this is part 2 of Beginner's Acrylics, and we've got our mountains done from part 1, and now we're going to do the reflections. We're going to pretend there's water right here, some water in there. So the easiest way to do that is wetting your paper. It's 140 pounds, so it's used to watercolor anyway. Wetting the paper just a little bit, and you want to use that same 3/4 inch brush. You don't want to use a little small brush. And just below that misty area that I painted that has now dried, I want to put a little bit of water here. Okay, I still have my blue and my white from before, and I'm going to take some of the darker blue, a little bit of the white, and I'm going to mimic what's above. So it's kind of like you just do it in reverse. Kind of like that. Okay, and I'll put that in there. And then we're going to go back and get some more of that darker blue, because your reflections are typically going to be on the dark side anyway. And we're going to put those in there. And then that one in there. This one's going to come up a little higher. And then we're going to go across and get that gray big one in the center. Just put it in there. Now you'll notice, and I'll hold this up where you'll see that this is very kind of muted at the moment. And that is quite alright. We're going to put that in there. Just like that. We've got this skinny one here in the background. And then we have this little kind of short chunky one right here. And it's all in that mist. Just below the mist part that I put in there with gray. Okay. So it's kind of got an idea of like this is what a reflection would be at the bottom. Then you want your water in here, whatever shade you want your water to be of that blue, and just kind of put it across this way. Just put white and blue on one side of your brush and just pull it across your paper. Now if it takes away your reflection, that's okay. You can put them back in because it's wet down there. I keep forgetting that when you have it wet down there, it can remove what you've put in there. I want a little bit of white in there from the sky above, so I'm going to put some white patches in here. Across. So my water's a little bit on the light side because it's going to be kind of far away anyway. And so remember what I told you about using a lot of white? Well, we're digging into the white again. And I still have some gray to make. So that white and my blue. And I'm going to take that white and that little bit of that blue. And I'm going to do this kind of a misty gray look at the bottom. And just kind of pull it up while it's still kind of wet, so that it looks like it's going up the mountain base. And I'm pulling some of this wet down here, and I'm going to pull it down. Now with oils you would have wet on wet, but this isn't wet on wet, so we're going to take this dark blue, put a little bit of that, I call it the dirty water, and get it to where it's a good reflection shade of blue and white, and follow the line what's above again while it's still kind of wet. Like that. Go catch that big guy right there and have it blend up into that gray. Just like this. Kind of shape that one, but we'll fix that in a minute. And follow that across. Okay. So to fix that boo-boo I got there, I'm just going to go inside here. And I didn't grab enough white. Oh, there it is. And to fix the spot that I kind of messed up, I'm just going to put the white in there. I can see my reflections in there. And just kind of wear the paint out below. And I'm really just cleaning the brush out. And all this blue stuff it ends up getting covered up anyway. But you want to give that look of, oh yeah, there it is. So I've got a little bit of the just straight blue that I put on here to bring down below. On the shadow side. So it looks like, and then I'm taking the white and put it on the other side to mimic what's above. And while it's still wet, okay, I'm going to dry this brush off. I'm going to do it with it dry. I don't want it real wet. I'm going to take that dry brush and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to just totally muddle it. So you can still see them in there, the reflections. But with a dry brush, add that dark side. Just like I did above, except I'm doing it below. Okay? So we're just with a dry brush. And some of the dark blue only on the shadow side and the water, okay, because it's going to come across. And then this guy's here, and then this guy's right. Gotta have a dark spot here. So then let's take the white and mimic the top in the water, and very quickly, because this is acrylic and it's water based, I'm going to pull it across with that dry brush. Okay. Now that may not look as distinct as it should be, but then again, we're not aiming for realism, we're aiming for the illusion. And using the dark part as it comes across like this, you can actually work in the other peaks that are up there. Okay. So we're going to take, I need more white. I didn't put quite as much white out as I needed to. So this is lighter than what's above, but excuse me, you know that's what it's representing, is what's above. Oh, that little glacier guy comes down there. And put that white in there from that one. And then take most of the paint out while it's still sort of wet. Just pull it across, back and forth. And then put your little indications of the sky in there. Now here in amongst this mist is going to be your the little trees that grow at the base of the mountains. So in order to do that and to give you that dimensional look, you want to take your fan brush. I like to use a fan brush. And in that fan brush, I'm going to take that same blue and white. See, we're only using two colors to do this. That same blue and the white, and make this beautiful kind of gray color. Just bluish gray. And just like this, point out just like that in a line, and you go across the base to kind of like give the illusion that there's a tree line. You can still see that mist behind there, right? And you can use the corner to make shorter, little bushier looking plants or trees, whatever you want to put up there. And you're just tapping. You're literally just tapping. You want to highlight it a little bit, put a little bit more white. A little bit more white. And you notice I'm not adding any water to this. These acrylics, I'm using them kind of like an oil paint would be, except for I don't have the oil. And parts of it are going to be more this bluish color, so they're going to be further away. You can change your landscape by doing that. You make the lighter blue ones to be the ones far, far away. Just like this. You don't need any details for this. So then to make this, to have your water line, you take that white and you just go along the base of it. Put in a little shoreline. Yeah. Here's your little bank. This could be like winter time. You want to make sure this is straight as you can get it, without it getting all misshapen. And then put in your, because if these clouds get covered up somewhere, you know, into the painting, that's okay. This is the clouds being reflected into the water. I can see just by doing these little circles. So I'm doing little circles. A little bit of blue and white. Make a nice pretty gray reflection in the water. If you want to make it a little more distinct, just take your fan brush, put it in that dark blue, and just kind of outline them a little bit. And I'm using the dry brush because I want it to be a good crisp line down there. And the dry fan brush, throw in the reflection of the white from above. A little bit more water so I can smooth it out. Right. clean it off. And with it being dry, just want to pull it across. Just like that. So if you want to make your shoreline more distinct, take a little more of the blue and just kind of cut it in there. Yeah. That way you show the separation of the distance from up close. And use a darker blue in front of the gray, with just the corner of your fan brush, and that gives you a whole nother plane. It shows something's even closer. You can just push up like this. Oh, you push up. Need a little bit of water so you can do your shoreline, and by all means freshen it up. Some white, and you want to put little lines of white through your water so it shows movement. It's kind of a snowy thing. Okay, and there we have our reflections of the mountains in the water. And the next step what we will do is the foreground, and we're basically going to use the same colors. This is going to be a nice blue painting. Who says you have to make a painting that's, you know, exactly how people see it, because this is what we call art. Art is how you want it to look, and soothing blue always works for me. So stay tuned for part 3.